I wish that I could share in all this unbridled optimism about, a Trump boom. But, I've seen this before with Trump. Trump has been president before, and he came into office again, making many of the same promises that he made this time. He was going to make America great again. We were going to get rid of the trade deficits. We were going to reindustrialize the country. It was going to be with deregulation and tariffs. And none of that worked.
Your financial security is about to be obliterated. The proposed Trump tariffs aren't just numbers on paper. They're a devastating assault on your wallet that will send shockwaves through every aspect of your life. Let me paint you a terrifying picture of what's coming. Your weekly grocery bill? Prepare for sticker shock. Those affordable fruits and vegetables you depend on? Many come from countries targeted by these tariffs. That $100 grocery run will soon become $150 or more. Your children's favorite snacks? Luxury items under this new regime? You can forget all of that. The nightmare extends far beyond food. That smartphone you're watching this on? Its replacement will cost hundreds more. Your washing machine dies? The repair bill alone might bankrupt you. Every electronic device, every appliance, every piece of clothing, all held hostage to these catastrophic tariffs. Small businesses in your community are about to drop like flies. Your favorite local shops, already struggling, will face impossible choices between raising prices and closing their doors. Watch as Main Street becomes a ghost town of empty storefronts and going out of business signs. Your retirement savings? They're about to take a devastating hit. As consumer spending plummets and companies struggle with higher costs, the stock market will spiral. That nest egg you've carefully built? Watch it evaporate before your eyes. Think you're safe because you have a stable job? Think again. As companies grapple with skyrocketing costs, layoffs will become inevitable. Your position isn't as secure as you think. Even if you keep your job, forget about that raise you were counting on. Companies will be slashing budgets just to survive. The automotive industry will be particularly devastated. That car repair you've been putting off? Better do it now, before parts prices triple. Planning to buy a new vehicle? Add thousands to your expected cost. The auto industry employs millions. As it suffers, entire communities will collapse. If you don't believe this, take a look at this data. Food prices will surge immediately, with basic staples projected to rise 30 to 40% as agricultural import costs soar. Historical data from 2018 shows that when similar tariffs were imposed, ground beef prices jumped 22% in just 3 months. The U.S. Chamber of Commerce calculates that the average family's grocery bill will increase by $316 monthly. Home appliance costs will skyrocket. Washing machines jumped 12% during previous tariffs, and experts project this round will push prices up 28 to 35%. A basic refrigerator will cost an additional $350 to $500. Restaurant prices will surge as food costs rise. The National Restaurant Association projects the average family will spend $1,272 more annually on dining out, while 38% of independent restaurants say they'll face closure if food costs rise more than 25%. The electronics sector will see devastating price increases. Computer manufacturers project laptop prices will rise $425 to $600 on average. Smartphone prices will increase $200 to $300 per unit. Television prices are expected to jump 35%. American auto parts manufacturers will shed 125,000 jobs in the first year alone, according to industry analysis. Car repair costs will rise 40% as replacement parts become more expensive, forcing many Americans to delay essential vehicle maintenance. The pharmaceutical industry warns that generic drug prices will rise 45 to 60% as active ingredient costs soar. Life-saving medications like insulin could see price increases of hundreds of dollars per month. construction costs will explode. Lumber prices are projected to rise 56%, steel 45%, and aluminum 40%. The average new home construction cost will increase $52,000 to $68,000, pricing millions out of homeownership. Small businesses face devastation. 67% of those surveyed say they cannot absorb more than a 15% increase in supply costs without laying off workers or closing entirely. Local retail closures are projected to rise 340% in the first year. Child care costs will increase as centers pass along higher costs for supplies, food, and equipment. The average family will pay an additional $3,600 annually per child for daycare services. Consumer electronics repair costs will spike 45 to 55% as replacement parts become more expensive. Many repair shops project closure as consumers choose replacement over repair. College textbook prices will rise 28% on average due to paper and printing cost increases. Laboratory and technical equipment costs will force tuition increases averaging $2,800 per year. Medical procedures will become more expensive as equipment and supply costs rise. Hospitals project average procedure costs will increase 22 to 28%, forcing many Americans to delay necessary care. Your insurance premiums will rise as healthcare providers pass along these increased costs. Manufacturing jobs, contrary to Trump's promises, will vanish as companies face a double hit of higher input costs and retaliatory tariffs blocking their exports. The last time significant tariffs were imposed, manufacturing employment fell by 75,000 jobs in states like Michigan and Ohio alone. American exports will plunge as trading partners implement retaliatory tariffs. During the last trade war, U.S. exports fell by $119 billion in affected industries. Take heed, Floridians. The tourism industry is poised to face devastating blows from Trump's proposed tariff policies, as increased costs for airlines, hotels, and travel-related services will make both domestic and international travel prohibitively expensive for average Americans. The ripple effects will be catastrophic for communities that depend on tourism revenue, with countless small businesses, from local tour operators to souvenir shops to family-owned restaurants, are forced to slash jobs or shut down entirely as visitor numbers plummet. What's most alarming is that these tariffs could trigger retaliatory measures from other countries, potentially leading to increased visa restrictions and travel barriers that would effectively end the dream of affordable travel for millions of hardworking Americans. Local governments will face budget shortfalls as reduced economic activity cuts tax revenues, forcing cuts to public services that you and your family rely on every single day. Picture your children's schools crumbling as maintenance budgets evaporate, classroom sizes ballooning as teacher positions go unfilled, and vital programs like art and music vanishing overnight. Your streets will deteriorate as road repair projects are indefinitely delayed, police response times will lengthen as departments freeze hiring, and your local parks will fall into disrepair as maintenance staff are laid off. The community pool where your kids learn to swim? Closed. The library where you take your grandchildren? Reduced hours or shuttered entirely. Your property values will plummet as these service cuts transform once desirable neighborhoods into shadows of their former selves, trapping you in a downward spiral of declining public services and eroding home equity. This isn't some distant economic theory. This is the horrifying reality coming straight to your hometown, where the catastrophic impact of Trump's tariffs will transform your community into an unrecognizable shell of what it once was. Your retirement savings will be devastated as market volatility increases and corporate profits plunge. The dollar's value will decline, unleashing a nightmare scenario where your carefully planned retirement nest egg dissolves before your very eyes. That dream of a comfortable retirement you've spent decades building? Watch it crumble as companies across every sector report massive earnings drops, sending the stock market into a terrifying death spiral. Your 401k will be decimated by the double whammy of plummeting stock values and skyrocketing inflation, while your fixed income investments become virtually worthless as interest rates go haywire in response to the economic chaos. The international investment community will flee from U.S. markets in panic, triggering a self-reinforcing cycle of decline that will make the 2008 financial crisis look like a minor hiccup. You'll be forced to work well into your 70s or 80s if you can even find employment in an economy ravaged by these reckless tariffs, while watching helplessly as your retirement savings evaporate faster than you can replenish them. This isn't just an economic downturn. It's the wholesale destruction of the American retirement dream, leaving millions of seniors facing a future of poverty and desperation. And if you think that you can just retreat from a shattered economy into the mind-numbing world of entertainment, think again. The entertainment industry will face higher production costs that will be passed along to you through increased prices for movies, games, and streaming services. Your favorite Netflix subscription? Expect it to double or triple in price as production costs soar due to more expensive electronics, materials, and imported goods needed for content creation. Those video game consoles your kids have been begging for? They'll become luxury items, with prices skyrocketing due to tariffs on electronic components. Movie tickets will become a rare treat rather than a regular weekend activity, as theaters struggle with higher operating costs and dwindling attendance. Even your basic cable package will become a financial burden, forcing millions of Americans to choose between keeping their entertainment subscriptions or putting food on the table. The ripple effects will devastate Hollywood, gaming companies, and content creators, leading to fewer new releases, lower production quality, and the death of smaller studios and independent producers. Your escape from the harsh economic reality will itself become a casualty of these disastrous tariffs, leaving you with fewer options for affordable entertainment just when you need it most to cope with the stress of financial hardship. Is there anything you can do? Don't delude yourself into thinking you can ride this out without making dramatic changes to your lifestyle. The economic devastation these tariffs will bring isn't something you can simply adjust to. It will require a complete reimagining of how you live, work, and survive in what will become an unrecognizable American economy. The best you can do is to make wise investment decisions, pump up your income, and stay informed. That is what this channel is all about. Be sure to subscribe.